it's been a hot minute since I actually sat down and filmed a video. I had a weird month last month. I had a lot of sickness bugs. I don't know what's up with the UK at the moment. Everyone seems to be sick. I think it's been such a mild kind of spring and summer that there's just so many like cold bugs going around. So I was sick twice, and then I was working and I just didn't get around to filming. I also started another project that I had to stop because I didn't have the fabric for. So yeah, it's been a minute, but I have a lot of books to talk to you guys about, so this is going to be like a May reading wrap up. Obviously a little bit late, I know, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. So to start off with, the first book I read was Afraid of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I know, I'm a bit, late to the hype. I have read like Sarah J Maas's Crescent City series and the first two ACOTAR books, but my plan was to read like all of the Throne of Glass series, so then I can reread ACOTAR. So that's where I'm at the moment, and I really enjoyed Throne of Glass. Like, Sarah J Maas never fails me. She's really easy to read. Like, her books are fast paced. There's not too much like fluffy prose in there that makes you kind of tired and don't want to read it. The characters are great. I love our main character. She's so feisty and she's believable as well. It's not like she's doing stuff that I think you wouldn't be able to do that, honey. So yeah, I just really enjoyed that book, and I have picked up the next ones. I will be reading them next month probably. The next book that I read was Annibot by Sierra Greer, and this book follows a robot for all intents and purposes. It's in a world where people can buy robot maids or sort of like robot wives, robot nannies, and we follow Annibot, and she's with this man, and she basically has been switched to a setting where she starts to gain almost sentience and a conscious, and she is slowly discovering that things aren't quite right, and she's thinking, why is it like this? And without giving much away, this book very much explores relationships, abusive relationships, what it is to be a woman, what it is to have power, what it is to be conscious, and I really liked it. It's a very short read, so it's quite doable, and I think if you liked sort of Stepford Wives and if you liked the film Her, then I think you'll really like this book. The next book that I read was Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I really loved this book. It was everything that you want from a rom-com. It has, funny characters and dialogue, and even like some good emotional depth to it as well. Like, there's a lot of character backstory and development that we really go throughout the book, so it made it very believable, and I really believed the chemistry between the characters. And what else? I just really enjoyed this book. I think it's a great like holiday read because it's kind of based on the main character going on holiday to a kind of small country town in America. So yeah, I think if you're looking for a holiday read, then this is definitely a good one. So the next book, I received a digital proof copy, and this is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. And I had really high hopes for this one. It follows like our female main character who is born at the same time when these dragons are born, and basically she has a bond with them, and for whatever happens, the dragons get taken away from her and she ends up leaving her kingdom. And so we start to follow her as she's like this kind of independent, well, she's kind of got her own little community, and she's like basically the queen of this like hidden area from people that have run away from the kingdom that she left. And so we follow her kind of getting some news, and she bumps into an angry male character assassin guy. This wasn't great. I actually DNF'd it because I don't know, I think it's a debut novel. I felt this could have done with a lot more editing and finessing. It felt very much like a draft, and not in a good way really. There was just a lot that didn't make sense, or the romance started way too fast, and they're meant to be enemies, but there's nothing for them to be enemies about. Like, they agreed to ally with each other, and I don't know why they hate each other. It's like the author really wanted to put this trope in there, but it didn't make sense, so that felt odd. And then they used a nickname that I was just like, no, I can't do this. I can't do a book with that nickname in. So yeah, it ruined it for me, and like I said, I got to about 80 pages and I DNF'd it. So it's a pre-warning for you if you are, you know, wanting to get this book. You might really like it, but yeah, for me it felt very tropey and very much like they forced something that wasn't quite there. Next up, I read The Ferryman by Justin Cronin, and this was a sci-fi book, so slightly different for me. I have to be in the mood for a sci-fi, and this did take me like a week to finish because it was a lot, but it was great and I really, really enjoyed it. It's almost like a mystery at the same time, and the story very slowly unravels, and the sci-fi element kind of starts to build up throughout the book. How do I explain it? Yeah, it's one of those books that you have to take in small doses and process what you've read and think, okay, what's happened? Who are the players in this? And why is this happening? We basically follow this man, and he is a ferryman, and he takes people from an island to retire to another island. And that's all I'll say, because I don't want to give too much away, but it will be revealed. And like I said, I think if you liked the film Passengers, the one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, then you'll like this one. And I also think if you like The Matrix, you'll like this too. There is kind of talks about grief and loss and how people deal with grief, and also kind of artificial intelligence, what is real and what isn't real. So yeah, I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars and I definitely recommend it. Next is a series that I finished, and I finally read the whole Folk of the Air series, and I don't know why I took so long to read this because it was great. I really, really loved it. Holly Black, I love all your books. Please write more. It's just, you know, like what you want from a fae like world. They're really evil and they're dark and they're not nice, and that's what you want. You want fae that aren't good. And there's so much like whimsy in it too. Like it reminds me of Spiderwick Chronicles a little bit, because there's so much sort of like weird little goblin-y things and pixies, and it's just cute, and I loved it. June and Carden are the best couple ever. And yeah, side note, I really, really loved the human characters in this. I think they're very relatable and they're very real, and what they think and what they feel is definitely relatable. I think would be realistic for someone that would be in the Fae world. So yeah, I love this series and I won't recommend it enough to anyone else. Lastly, I'm going to finish off with some mangas that I read. So the first one was the first volume of Sailor Moon. I have watched some of the anime of Sailor Moon, so I kind of knew what to expect, but this is just a super cute like 90s style manga. I love the illustration style in this. It's very much like comic book style. I loved the humour. It was just really nice and fun and easy to read, and I definitely want to get the next couple volumes because they are super pretty. I then picked up the Apothecary Diaries Volume 1. And this was really cool. This basically is a very much more historical Japanese based manga. We follow a girl who basically gets kidnapped and then ends up working for like the royal court as well. She's a maid at first, and then something happens that means she's like an apothecary. She works in the apothecary. I don't know. She does a lot of herbal stuff, like herbal mixes and things, and curing people. And there's a lot more like adult humour in this than I was, expecting. So it's definitely, I think, an older age range manga if you're thinking of getting this for anyone. Definitely kind of age 16 plus, I'd suggest. But I really like this. I definitely think I will get the next one as well because the illustration style was also super cute and adorable. The last manga I read was actually a proof copy from Penguin. Thank you very, very much. It was my love story with Yamada-kun at level 999, and it's the first volume. I loved this manga so much that I had to go and watch the anime because I was like, I need to know what happens. This is very much like modern day based, and we follow this, I think she's like a college student, and she basically gets dumped from her boyfriend, but she like wants to continue playing the game that she played with him, and it kind of follows her on the gaming kind of in the game world as she makes more friends in a new guild, and she falls in love with someone. I won't say too much more, but it's really funny. I thought it was really relatable, and yeah, I thought it was super cute, and definitely recommend this one. It's very new, so it's definitely in shops, I think. Once again, thank you very much for watching my video. I am sorry that it took so long for me to actually sit down and record another one. Like I said, life's been lifing, but I'm going to try and keep back on track with all my videos again. And if you do want to keep on track with what I'm reading, please do follow my Goodreads account, and I will link that in the description down below. I'm always updating on there and updating what I'm reading and putting reviews on there, so you can keep up full time. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you in the next video, guys.